So this is something I want to touch on here. This is a letter from Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. So there are two companies. In fact, there are multiple companies. One of them is called the Watchtower Society. Another is called Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. They split them up specifically like that so that they could use plausible deniability. They keep a lot of records that they wouldn't want public as part of the Watchtower Society, which is their printing company. And the governing body is completely disconnected from, quote unquote, the Watchtower Society. They are the governing body of the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, in reality, these people control everything. They control the entire thing. They're pretty much the board members of the religion. But, you know, that whole plausible deniability bit makes it so that they mainly claim to be part of Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they claim no affiliation with the Watchtower Society. So this letter comes from Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. It says, oh, and just for context, this letter apparently is coming out as a result of some new privacy laws that were released in the EU. So the EU's been giving Jehovah's Witnesses shit for a while now over what data they're allowed to collect about householders. Like before, they used to, you'd go to the door, you'd knock on it, you would write down if it was a male or a female you spoke to, if they were interested, and you'd ask for their phone number or whatever else. You'd write down their house number, you'd put down their name just for record-keeping purposes, and then you'd send that data back to the Watchtower Society, or back to the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, if you will. And they would record it so that others could use it. So the EU's released a bunch of rules about what you're allowed to collect now, and that's throwing a wrench into Jehovah's Witnesses' plans with what they collect right now. So this letter was released by the governing body, basically, and it was leaked. So this is a leaked letter. It says, "Dear brothers, sharing in the field ministry has always been a personal expression of each Christian's faith and desire to preach the good news of God's kingdom. Over the years, you may have become accustomed to collecting personal data in connection with your ministry. However, recent court decisions and the enactment of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, affect the collection and use of personal data in our branch territory. Thus, any suggestions we previously made on note-taking as related to the field ministry are no longer applicable." Any suggestions we previously made on note-taking as related to the field ministry are no longer applicable. Okay. Accordingly, publishers should not collect personal data in connection with the field ministry. This means not maintaining records that include a person's name, address, language, ethnicity, and so forth. It also includes not recording addresses where where no one is at home. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Though no personal data is recorded, publishers are encouraged to cultivate the interest they find. A publisher could do so by 1. Providing his contact information to the interested person and arranging a return visit. 2. Directing the interested person to the address of the nearest congregation meetings. Or 3. Directing the person to jw.org. There's that subtle plug again. As an exception, if a householder requests that no further visits be made to his home, the publisher should make a note of the date and address only, and place it in the territory record so that publishers working the territory in the future will not call at that address. That's the do not call list, basically. I've talked about this before. If you don't want a Jehovah's Witness to come to your house, just tell them, put me on the do not call list. Don't come back. It's that simple. And they'll put you on this list. We send our warm Christian love, your brothers, Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. And now there's a second letter, apparently, a PS to the body of elders. This section of the letter is not supposed to be read to the congregation or anything. This is just for the elders. The coordinator of the body of elders should arrange for this letter to be read to the congregation at the first midweek meeting after its receipt. Thereafter, it should be posted on the information board for 1 month. This postscript should neither be read to the congregation nor be posted on the information board. Territory map cards used for group and personal territory should show only geographic boundaries such as street names. These cards should... Hang on, let me zoom in a little bit more. It's kind of hard to read. These cards should not include personal data such as lists of addresses of householders who speak a particular language. When two or more congregations preach in the same neighborhoods, the service overseers in these congregations should communicate to work out a mutually acceptable system of covering the territory that does not involve maintaining records that contain personal data of householders. Please review the size of the individual territories used for house-to-house work. In line with local circumstances, there may be advantages for preparing territories with fewer homes. For example, publishers may be motivated to request a territory close to their home or workplace. In addition, since publishers do not collect personal data, territories with fewer homes may assist publishers to thoroughly search out deserving ones in the territory and cultivate interest. Interesting. So basically what I'm getting from this is that they are actually trying to comply with the new regulations, the privacy regulations that the EU released. That's a good thing, seemingly. I'm tentative, though. I know Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't usually go down that easily, so we will see. We will see if any other stuff gets leaked, any other interesting information.